craving to feel. And it's like, hi, so today I come to you with a very different type of video. Actually, I wouldn't say it's very different. It's just, I feel very different. Coming to you with this type of energy and just message, I guess. Stay hydrated. Over the recent few months, I've come to realize that I'm an artist and that I'm a creative, and for whatever reason, I wasn't able to accept that about myself. I don't know what it is. Like, even though I know that I'm a creative person and that I like to, like, I've always been drawn more to like the arts. Like in high school, the only class that I like passed, the only classes I passed were band and art. And so, yeah, I've just always been drawn to just art in general, just like the fact that like something could make you feel a certain way, could evoke like certain feelings, was like just life to me. It was just like to be able to experience life in such a colorful way, in so many different forms of art, different forms of media, film, photography, videography, music, like painting. Like I've dabbled in a lot of that, and I don't know why I just have never called myself an artist, and I feel like it's because I thought that it required for me to be like a professional artist or something in order for me to be considered an artist. And I guess because it was just always something that was more of like a hobby to me. It was never something that I thought I would make a career out of, although I did want to be a fashion designer when I was little. Like, that was the number one thing I wanted to be, and I even had this like little portfolio of like all of my designs. This was when I was like 11 or 12. And yeah, I don't know, I never like saw myself or called myself an artist for whatever reason. And the older I get, the older I get, and the more I let go of certain expectations of me and projections of, you know, societal expectations, familial expectations, just people around me, their expectations, the more that I let go of those and the more that I tap into what really brings me joy, the more that I see that I am really someone who loves to make people feel. And what really solidified this for me, this is so random, was taking this quiz, this little quiz. It's called Find Your Dharma. It's like a Find Your Dharma quiz, and this is by Sahara Rose. I'll actually link it. I'll link it wherever I post this. I'm gonna link it wherever. Yeah, so I did that quiz, and the archetype, the number one archetype that came up for me was the entertainer. And I was like, what? Really? Like, I was like kind of in denial. I was like, I don't know about that. Like, entertainer, like, I've always been such a shy person. I've always been someone who was like, would play small, like was kind of hiding behind things and didn't want to be seen, and was more so the one who was behind the camera and not realizing that you can still be an entertainer and be behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. And as I like have grown into just accepting and loving myself more, the more comfortable I've been able to feel in front of the camera and be on this side of the camera. And yeah, the number one archetype that came up for me was entertainer, and it basically was just laying out like what the archetype pretty much embodies, and that is someone who likes to make people feel. And the reason that I even started a YouTube channel and that I am so passionate about making the types of YouTube videos that I make is to evoke emotion, is to evoke a sense of peace and just clarity and like a meditation almost, like to put whoever's watching my videos, specifically the videos about like hiking and like camping and stuff like that, to put you in a meditative state, to put you in a place where you feel like you're there with me, like you're experiencing it with me, like you are there in nature, connecting with nature, and also to inspire you to go outside, for you to actually go outside and go into nature and experience what I'm experiencing, because it just brings me to life to be in the mountains, the forests, the lakes, all of it. So I really hope to evoke inspiration and also peace, and yeah, those are like probably the main two, peace and inspiration. So I guess I'm now embodying that and accepting that I'm an entertainer, and it makes so much sense to me now, because I've always been like a very sensitive person, as many people are. Very sensitive person, a pretty dramatic person. Like when I feel things emotionally, like I feel them intensely. And for those of you into astrology, I am a Cancer moon, Scorpio sun, Pisces rising. I'm all water. So that definitely, I feel like, plays out in my personality for sure. I feel like I'm just surrendering to that. I'm surrendering and softening into who I've always been. And at 27 years old, just starting to embody that and really follow that passion of mine. The passion of mine that I have to make people feel. And my second archetype that came up in that quiz was visionary, and that made a lot of sense for me. I honestly expected that to be like the number one that came up, but it wasn't. It was the second, and yeah, I definitely feel like a visionary. I'm a very optimistic person when it comes to how I envision the world can be and what I trust that it will be. And also knowing that my daily actions and my daily devotion to being who I am is actually what's contributing to the collective in a beneficial way. By following my passions, following my joys, by following through with my calling to make people feel inspired and peaceful is my contribution. I'm softening and surrendering more into not trying to force things, not forcing myself to do things because my logical mind is telling me that I should do these things. Like, your logical mind, of course, serves a purpose, and I 100% believe that. And I've personally just been so deep in my logical mind for a lot of my life, and I've kind of pushed my creative and more feminine receptive energy aside. And I'm really just in this phase of my life, stage in my life, where I just want more ease, and I'm inviting in more ease. And the more ease that I invite in, the more that I set ease and trust and surrender as my intentions, the more that I let go of expectations that I don't actually align with or feel serve me in any way. So, all that to say, no, I don't want to minimize anything I said. It's just that's what I had to say. That's what I wanted to share today. Another thing that I was kind of reflecting on is that I feel that I've created so much. I know that I've been the one who's created a lot of the chaos that I've experienced in my life. And it's so interesting because it comes from that craving to feel. And it's like, because I'm aware of that now, I no longer invite in chaotic energy. I'm letting go of that. And I realize that there are much better emotions and energies to feel in this lifetime than chaos and stress and destructiveness. I feel like I realized that I was creating these situations in my life because I wanted to be entertained in some way, and because I grew up in a certain environment, and I feel that like that maybe carried over a little bit to where it was like that was kind of all that I knew for so long. And so I thought that that was what was normal to me. And so I continued to create that for myself even when I left that environment. Like I don't know, I just thought that I needed to continue experiencing that because it's just what I knew. And now I'm totally letting go of that, and inviting in just so much more ease and really celebrating my individuality. Because I know that I can copy and paste. I've done that. I'm really good at copying and pasting. Yet I feel so lonely, and so I lack a sense of belonging when I copy and paste myself. And when I embrace my individuality, and when I express my passions, my joys, my individuality, I feel like I belong within my own body. I feel at home because this is how God made me. So, thank you for watching.